Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Kamen Rider Saber, you guys. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. If you're joining me early today, you already know what that means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, alright guys, I don't think we're at the halfway point now, because I believe this is going to be like close to a 50 episode series, but we're inching towards the halfway point of the series. This is episode 19, and I have to say, I cannot imagine what they're going to do for like the big twists that we all know are coming at like certain points of the series, like towards the end, kind of towards the middle, because it's just been nonstop so far. It's been a nonstop thrill ride so far. Last episode we had Yuri making the decision to fight alongside Touma, which I absolutely loved. I was really afraid there for a second we'd end up with Yuri and all the swordsmen like against Touma. We saved Yuki, which was wonderful. We did find out from Yuri that there was a much easier way of doing that, which I was like, you gotta communicate with us here, Yuri. What are you doing? But it's all good. It led to a fun little moment, which I gotta say, the fun little moments are very refreshing. They're especially refreshing on this series because there's just so much drama going on. We had, what's her name? I always forget her name. Reika, the southern-based chick. A really creepy scene with Rintaro, all done kind of like in the shadows, where she's kind of like, it feels like she's going to try to, like, almost, I want to use the word, like, seduce, but not in that way, but, like, seduce him to her cause, you know? I think, if it weren't for, like, the obvious undertones that that word has, that would be, like, a good way to put it. What's really scary about this is that Rintaro, I feel like, is especially vulnerable to kind of being turned against. I mean, he isn't, though, because we see him trying to, he really does still have doubts about, like, Touma, and he feels strongly for Touma, whereas you see someone like Ren, who I would have thought maybe there would be some, like, room in there for him to, and he's just, like, he's so angry, his rage has just blinded him to anything but, you know, taking action. But I feel like Rintaro has the kind of personality where, like, he does have a little bit more of an all-or-nothing personality, so I could see him, like, once he's convinced, I could see this taking a really bad turn, you know what I mean? So, I have no idea what is going to happen next, but, you know, we have Touma committed to the idea of trying to persuade his friends and show them the truth. So, it didn't work when I really thought if you could just get them in a room and have them talk, but that only made it worse. That being said, though, like, there was a little room for doubt in everyone's minds, and they wouldn't even listen to him trying to say that Yuki was human. Like, so you're just really gonna disregard that, but I mean, you could see it on both sides, you know. They've done a good job of kind of building up why they'd have a lot of suspicion about Touma at this particular juncture. And also just, like, we know the truth, and so we're just over here like, oh my god, how is this happening? So, alright guys, could not imagine where they're taking it next, but it has been nonstop so far, so what do you say we jump in and see how they're gonna keep up this momentum? Next episode, let's go. Great episode. Sorry, guys. Got a little distracted there. Okay. What did that mean at the end? Nothing is reverberating from your sword. Does that mean he can acknowledge that there's nothing evil, there's no malicious intent reverberating from the sword? Is he unable to read the situation and that's why he said it? I'm not sure. Why were there multiple tassels at the beginning? Does that have some should I be paying more attention to, like, what Tassel's doing? Because I feel like he is more involved in this story than originally thought. And I wonder if, like, the things he does and says have a lot of bearing on, like, the story. I'll be very curious to see if there are any theories on that, or if there are any, like, little clues that have been dropped so far in Tassel's openings. And closings sometimes, too, because doesn't he do closings sometimes? I guess he just does the openings. I feel like he's done at least, like, 1 or 2 closings. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. So as I was saying, I'm so glad that we have 2 swordsmen who are, you know, still loyal, but they're able to see this a little bit more critically. And Rintaro and his fierce loyalty are part of what makes him such a great character, such a great friend, just such a wholesome person. But it may be impacting his ability to see this as fully critically as possible. And Ren has made up his mind that if you are willing to consider even for a second anything that comes out of the mouth of the person that killed Kento, I am now, you know, again, sorry not to use a Guy 01 reference, but 1,000% just against. I was saying 1,000% before Guy, so he stole it from me, so I'm just gonna keep saying it. Go back and watch some of my other reactions before I started watching 01. You'll see. Alright. Did we not get a new form? I feel like Touma was using, like, the same forms we've seen. Also, that move that, what's his rider name? Slash did, where he, like, jumps and misses the sword. How awesome was that? But I feel like we're definitely making some progress, which I'm really happy about. I was so afraid that we would kind of just, and maybe this is how it's going to be. I have no idea. But I was a little worried that, like, it would be episode 45 before, like, everyone started coming around. And maybe some folks will still be having a real problem with Touma until that time. But at least we have, like, a little hope to think that, that's not necessarily going to be the case with everyone. Like, I feel like if I had to put money on it, I'd say, like, Reika is the one, she's the problem in the organization, but I feel like that's too easy. And who is she talking on the phone to? Also, Megiddo, they were not the ones who took Sophia? Or were they lying? Because we haven't seen Sophia, like, you know, being held hostage at their headquarters, and we, the audience, can see their headquarters. So unless they have, like, a dungeon or something that they just have not talked about? I mean, is that the case? Or are they the ones that really took her? It would really be upsetting to me if Sophia ended up being, like, the person on the other end of the phone and was, like, the mastermind behind this the entire time or something. I can't believe that's it, though. I cannot believe that. But wouldn't that be crazy, though? It's not. It's not that. Don't let me upset you. It's not, it's not that. Forget what I said. But I think there is, like, a mastermind. I don't think it's just her. I think, the Southern base, Reika, whatever. I think there is someone higher up pulling the strings. Presumably, now I'm thinking they're the ones that took Sophia, and she's using this to kind of perpetuate this whole thing with the swordsmen. Lots of questions, guys. Lots of questions. Who is on the other end of that phone? Who's pulling the strings? Where's Sophia? Who really took her? Very interesting to me that there is a chance that, I mean, I just never thought about it that way, that the power level is so great and so intense that you really need 2 bases to spread that out as like a system of checks and balances. And now that they're all going towards the southern base, how convenient, you know? All right, guys, let's dwell, let's formulate theories, let's do all those great things. We'll see what happens, I guess. Great episode. I loved it. I had a blast with it, just like I do with every episode of the show, because it has been mind-blowing so far. Loving Yuri. Oh, Shingo. Was that his name, Shingo? No. Why do they always take the people that I'm like, I get instantly attached to them? Yuki's not going to remember any of this now. So I was kind of hoping maybe she'd be around more. I guess not. I liked Yuki. We'll probably still see her here and there. She's still Mei's boss. All right, guys. Great episode. I hope you enjoyed watching it along with me. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. As always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.